Ever get that feeling like a certain animal really speaks to you?
Mm.
Like maybe you're drawn to the grace of a cat or the power of a bear or I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
Today we're going deep, deep, deep into that feeling.
Okay.
With shamanism and this idea of power animals.
I like it.
We're hanging out with animal shamanic power.
Okay.
Which is my very rough translation of the title of this very cool book by Don José Ruiz, Chamánicos de Poder.
Yes. A wonderful book, yeah.
Which dives into all of this, like, ancient Toltec wisdom about these, like, spirit guides, essentially, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Toltec tradition is really big on this idea of personal responsibility, right?
Okay.
Like, we are here to learn and grow. And so power animals, they fit into that in that they're these guides. You know, they're here to kind of help us along in that journey.
Like guardians, almost, in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Protectors.
Yeah.
Guides.
Yeah.
They embody these sort of like archetypal energies that we can all, I think, relate to and learn from.
So it's not like, you know, you have to be some sort of shaman, like deep in the Amazon to like tap into this.
No, not at all.
Okay.
This is something that Ruiz really stresses, is for everybody.
I
mean, there's a lot of different ways to sort of discover your power animal, right? He talks about meditation. He talks about paying attention to dreams. If you have recurring animals in your dreams, that sort of thing. Even like shamanic journeying, which is this whole other, it's like this whole other thing where you go into this trance-like state. You're venturing into the spirit world and encountering your power animal there.
That's intense. I'd be down to try that.
It's pretty wild, yeah.
I have to say, though, I kind of like the idea of just like meeting my spirit animal in a dream.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less intimidating. Okay. But let's get into it. Like, what kind of animals are we talking? What kind of energies are we talking about here?
Well, we could start with, like, I don't know about you, but have you ever, like, looked up and seen an eagle soaring and just felt this, like, man, I wish I could feel that free.
100%. Soaring above everything.
Right. And so, I mean, that's a lot of what the eagle represents, right? Vision, freedom, perspective, and not just like literally flying high, but rising above, whatever challenges. To see the bigger picture, like an eagle uses its crazy eyesight to see things from far away. It's a good reminder to think long term, you know?
Be strategic.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get bogged down in the little stuff. I like it. Okay. What about, this one's cool.
Okay, yeah.
Jaguars.
Jaguars, yeah.
I feel like when I think of jaguars, I think of like stealth and power.
Roar.
Yes. Raw power, exactly.
Right. I mean, they embody power, they embody protection, overcoming fear.
Okay.
I mean, this is an animal that is a fierce predator, but also like so graceful and confident in how it moves through the world. You know, so it's like, how can you channel that in your own life?
I like that. Channel your inner jaguar to get you through those tough times.
There you go.
Okay. I have to ask about wolves because I personally am very fascinated by wolves. And I remember watching a documentary once about wolves and like this pack working together to bring down an elk.
Wow.
And it was incredible. They were communicating and it was like this whole like strategic operation.
Totally.
So I'm curious about like the wolf and what it represents.
Well, I mean, that's a perfect example, right? Because it's all about community and leadership.
Yeah.
But it's not just about being the alpha, which I think a lot of people get wrong about wolves, right?
Yeah.
It's about understanding your place within that pack.
Right.
And being able to communicate effectively and work toward a common goal.
So it makes you think, too, about like our own packs a little bit.
Totally.
Our families and our friends, our colleagues.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, now I know this one might be a little bit less popular, but I think it's important to touch on, you know, some of the less cuddly creatures of the animal kingdom.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about snakes.
Oh, snakes.
Which, you know, obviously a lot of people like are afraid of snakes. I get it.
Right.
But in a lot of cultures, snakes are actually revered.
Right. It's true.
So what's up with that?
Well, they represent transformation.
Okay.
Healing. Rebirth.
Okay.
I mean, they shed their skin.
That's true. They get a fresh start.
Literally leaving the old behind.
Right.
Right. And embracing the new.
Yeah.
And that can be a really powerful thing for us to think about in our own lives too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what do we need to shed? What's no longer serving us?
Yeah. What are we holding on to that we don't need anymore? That's a good visual. Man, it's wild to think about all these different animals and like the deeper meaning that they hold.
Right. And these are just a few. I mean, Ruiz's book goes into so many more animals.
Of course, yeah.
And really, I think the beauty of it is that it encourages you to look at, your own life and see which animals resonate with you personally.
Well, and he doesn't just leave us with these concepts, right? Like, he actually gives people tools to connect with their power animal.
Yeah.
So he talks about rituals and meditations, all sorts of things.
He does. So you can actually put this into practice.
Yeah. It's like a guidebook.
It is. Exactly.
Which is super cool. I'm curious, as we wrap up, if there's like an animal that's like popping into your head right now. Maybe one you've always loved, maybe one you didn't even think about until we started talking about this, but pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Maybe your power animal is trying to say hello.